make us who we are. So I'll dream until I make it real, and all I see is stars.
Welcome, Sagittarius, to Channel the Future Tarot. Today we're going to do your week ahead reading. This will be for the Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs of Sagittarius. And take what resonates with you and claim it for yourself. Toss the universe what does not. It's not meant for you, and that's okay. And check out your other placements, Moon, Rising, and Venus, and get the readings that correspond with that to get some more guidance if you don't find it here. I am going to use a singing bowl as I do so. I'm going to ask you to take that deep breath in. Next time, whenever you feel so inclined to do so, it's just going to help balance your energy, set your intentions, and prepare for the messages. If you are new or returning to the channel, welcome. I'm so happy to have all of you. Thank you so much for liking, sharing, subscribing, commenting. It really means so much to me to see the channel growing. I can't express that enough, so thank you. All right, Sag, without further ado, let's get started. Peace, love, health, and wealth. Well, Sagittarius, as I was meditating on your energy, there was a sense of something is going to leave you quite pissed off this week. I feel like something leaves you fuming, and you kind of demand that equal airtime. I kept hearing, like, your voice matters, and wherever you have not been heard in the recent past, that has got you up in an uproar. I feel like you are taking that no more. We're going to draw out oracle cards for the next 7 days, and then we're going to draw out 2 tarot cards for each of those 7 days to kind of clarify and see what's going on. So what's coming in for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs for the 14th to the 20th for Sagittarius. Then we'll finalize the message close it out with a message from the universe. And which we'll read from the book because it's kind of meant to do that. So, what's coming in for Sagittarius from the 14th to the 20th for Sagittarius? Okay. Well, let's take a looky-loo. We have Chopwood. Oops, 42, breaking down to a 6. Chop wood, carry waters. You know, it's a real powerful indication that it's about kind of sharing the, I like to see us kind of sharing the, the workload, essentially. We got milk and honey coming out. Great energy coming out for that. That's the 15th. Like it. I like it a lot. For the 16th, the here and now, being present in that moment, which is 32, breaking down to a 5. I like that for you. This is being present in the moment. You're getting, you're feeling very, like I said, poised, at peace with yourself. These are all literally some of the best cards. Like I can't figure out what you've got you feeling here. You're very poised. You're feeling blessed. So it's got you up in your head. I'm a little unsure. Well, there's chaos and conflict in reverse, number 33, a master number as well. And not for you, also in reverse, number 6. Interesting. 34, a leg up coming in, so a helping hand, that new life coming in as well, soulmate energy. Interesting stuff for you. I wonder what's got you in this sense of chaos and conflict and realizing that, let's see what's coming in here. We'll break this down. We're going to grab the tarot from the 14th to 20th for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Sagittarius. Oh, we got that Emperor card that comes flying out there. Aries energy. Taking back control. It's a sense of authority as well. For some of you, I feel like you could be doing just that. With that chop wood, carry water. We've got the Queen of Swords, that very analytical, cut-a-bitch energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. We've also got the Moon card coming out here, Illusions. We do have that full moon coming out on the 21st, Sagittarius. which I feel like things are going to be changed and transformed. A lot of big things are going to be stripped away in this full moon. The illusions that we've been, tied to are no longer. The weights, the Ten of Swords moment. Underneath that, milk and honey. So something is breaking in a sense of, overall, it is bringing in abundance, but there's a sense, and you've got the Ten of Cups right underneath it, 10-10. So whatever brings in this Ten of Swords moment brings in this sort of milk and honey, Ten of Cups moment as well. So 10-10, powerful angel number for you this week, without a doubt. The Seven of Wands in the here and now. So you see on this card, it's got the past and the future here. The Seven of Wands indicates you're standing your ground very much for, your rights in his feelings in a situation. Got that King of Swords, that's King and Queen here. This could indicate a power couple. But for more often, this could be within yourself, just understanding your analytical mind, understanding, the emotions. Waters run deep around you, but you're not internally, changed by it. And I feel like very poised this week. The Nine of Pentacles coming in. This is about nurturing what you want to see grow here. And focusing on that, not being focused on the Seven of Cups, indecision, the many choices or the many, situations presented to you. Oftentimes we can do that, then that takes us from the here and now and the blessings that are coming in. Underneath blessed, you've got, which is also a master number of 22, we have Libra coming in here, justice, that scales being balanced. A karmic being righted here. That Eight of Pentacles indicates you're working hard, diligently. You see the hard work is going to pay off in something. And the hard work is going to bring you those blessings without a doubt. With this chaos and conflict, Sagittarius, we have the Two of Cups. So it's definitely with love, right? There's I keep hearing repetitive pattern. Where that's the Ten of Wands, yet another 10 for you, and it's burdensome. It's Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, and it's become in the sense of, maybe what was for you is no longer. We've got Judgment coming out with this not for you. It's an awakening of some kind that is very karmic and fated with the Wheel of Fortune and Judgment coming out there. The Knight of Cups on the bottom of the deck, very much Don Juan charismatic energy. Could be a message in regards to love here. Sagittarius, you start off this week feeling very kind of positive and self-assured. But I feel like going through this week, it's going to represent a little bit of testing the will, the patience, and, your fortitude to, keep going, your resilience in this matter, whichever it's related to for you. Being grounded in your everyday experience here, that honest ability to take humility, standing up. So there's a dream, I feel like, for some of you that's been laying dormant in your subconscious for some time. And this is a sense of pay attention to maybe something that's speaking to you that you wanted to do for some time, and maybe take some energy to do something about it. Doing just what you need to do in the now is very important. Let your heart remember that not everything has to be hard won, Sagittarius. It doesn't have to be, everything can go through that lull. It doesn't have to be very extreme. And I feel like this is going to bring in a very aha moment for you. And I feel like that's also indicated with this Queen of Swords, very analytical in your thought. These aha moments are going to come with crystal clarity for you. You're just going to think about a situation in a way that you hadn't previously done. And I feel like that's going to give you some perspective and that ability to clearly kind of detach your own emotions from the situation so you can make positive decisions. You're not being stuck by the illusions of the moon anymore. What was not being able to be seen by you in terms of a situation or even understood is now emotionally becoming quite available for you to process. And it could be something of the past, recent past, or even something from the long-term past. But it's definitely coming full circle, I feel like. And for many signs it is. It's not a bad energy, though. It's not something I would say. It's one that is going to give you so much clarity and peace when it comes through. 51, this is that taste of prosperity coming in. Opportunities. You've entered a sweet time where this is the land of milk and honey. There were things are starting to swift change for you. You're starting to see a positive, direction. Maybe in a time where you've been not feeling so emotionally inclined to find anything new. You know, you're wearing the world as a loose garment essentially right now. You're ready to see that abundance is a part of everything, and you're ready to take on a new energy in your life, and you're definitely going to see that there's only one authentic you, right? And this version of yourself is just where you're supposed to be. Don't be so hard on yourself. This Ten of Swords says, well, have to drop those burdens a little bit. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, that energy of being stuck or stagnant here, or kind of maybe in a sense of okay, this Ten of Swords always kind of reminds me of the fourth step in that model for recovery, includes making a moral and fearless inventory, which is a permission and encouragement to create that very much exhaustive list of all the things that we've ever done to you, you've ever done to anybody, or, you know, they've done to you, right? And I feel like it is ambitious, but this is the practice of taking inventory is one of many possible first steps towards creating wounds that never receive proper care and releasing what's ready to be let go here, Sagittarius. And it's one way of using the power of thought to stimulate those emotions on purpose and for healing. So do so with discernment and caution, right? And with full permission to back off the moment it feels like too much, right? We can sort of summon those unresolved feelings in a way that is safe and empowered, right? So this is saying you've been crushed by the weight of the many swords for some time, and when you feel broken down and like you can't take any more, this is a saying that you have the power to permeate your experience, you know, and drive, or in this case, limit your behavior, right? So it is also an image that I feel like you have to allow yourselves, despite, you know, our culture that is obsessed with moving on, to dwell properly in the loss so that you can feel what needs to be felt and then let it go. So many times we rush through trying to grieving, or we rush through trying to healing a process, and it is never actually that easy, and it just can cause more confusion in the long run. The Ten of Cups says through this healing, through this understanding, this is when the things are going to be very powerful for you. This is when you're going to see that you don't have to, you know, once you move through this healing process, the Ten of Cups comes in with that white picket fence, the emotional balance and understanding that you've been needing for some time. Living in the here and now, not the past. You know, there's so much hurt in the past, Sagittarius, for so many of us, and that can keep us so jaded for the future. You gotta let the good energies go, you know, no matter what kind of hurt you've been through, loss, betrayal, you know, or otherwise, life is in the here and now, and you're gonna miss so much of it being caught up in the past. And you're meant to experience this, right? Being fully present in the moment and just living one day at a time, working through the grief, working through the healing one day at a time. You're going to feel that it's going to dissipate a little by little. You know, you can handle everything in the moment, right? If you and let go of what needs, you know, the future, neglect the past, you know, be present and notice what's going on right now. You know, and you'll start to see that what you're working on will become quite golden and shift in a way that you hadn't seen before. This Seven of Wands coming in, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. This is your energy, but you're standing on guard, like I said, for something that has kept you really restricted. And I feel like this is that angry interactions that we, you know, can be the most painful and scary. And I feel like, but many also present us with that important opportunity for healing and growth. This is what you're going through this week. And I feel like this is, the character of the Seven of Wands appears angry, but there's a sense that they're also afraid of letting vulnerability get to them, right? And I feel like this is a sense where, as long as you're safe to validate someone who is, you know, expressing anger, or to be heard and validated in your own anger, is to co-create an alternative experience for someone who's likely expecting not to be heard. And that's why they're so angry, high-pitched yelling in a way, because they're believing you're not willing to listen to them, and maybe even punishing them for their feelings. So make space for anger in ourselves and others, and when you do so, there's a very evolutionary process that happens there, because when we feel safe and not characterized as wrong for having that moment to be upset, that's when it becomes a sense of understanding, feeling that freedom to be who you are and your many emotions and feelings all as they are, right? It's not, you don't have to be slighted or wronged for it. And if you've been harmed in some way, being able to feel and process anger can both yield some kind of new opportunity for you, for sort of relational healing here, and for procuring good treatment for yourselves in the future, Sagittarius, and a healthy mind. The King of Swords represents very much that healthy mind, and not wavering in any way, shape, or form from what is morally guiding him at this time. Very strong and found, and a great leader. These are things that I feel like you're embodying through this healing process. You're very poised in the face of the next adversity, Sagittarius. Nobody's going to be coming at you with anything less. Be standing strong in the face of anything that comes at you, because at the end of the day, you have the strength to overcome, because you've overcome many, many things. So don't be so focused on the things that you've overcome, or even focused on the next hit coming at you. It's got no purpose. It's weighing you down. This Nine of Pentacles focus on the growth and what's right in front of you now, and what you can nourish and, tend to sort of grow your garden of positivity emotionally, physically, and, physically in your wealth and your, being. Get out of your head, right? There's sometimes where thinking the problem 30 different ways from Sunday isn't going to get you a better or more clear answer. It's just going to give you more questions. Sometimes you're not meant to know everything. And if you're focusing on too many choices at once, you're not going to be able to weigh them down. You need to sort of pros and cons list for some of you that is going to be very much required to make a healthy and positive choice. You're blessed if you choose to see it that way. For some of you, you can see it as all that you've been through is a blessing in itself towards what you're meant to have. And, be blessed and feel like, yeah, now I'm not going to be blindsided or easily swooped in by any other way. You've been through it, and you know what to see. You know those red flags when they come in the future in any way, shape, or form. So being focused on the blessings that you have in the here and now is going to create more blessings in the future. Again, what you think about, you bring about. We have justice being here coming in. This is kind of the scales being balanced, Libra energy, karmic wrongs being righted. So if you've been on the wrong end, well, you're about to pay. But if you've been on the receiving kind of the victim energy, those wrongs are going to be righted for you. There's going to be a switch in terms of some sort of situation. This Eight of Pentacles suggests focusing on hard work and determination is what's going to see you through. Focusing on mastering a skill or getting a new skill for some of you, but learning a new craft or trade, going back to school for some of you could be very important. But this is a sense of expanding your knowledge is what's going to focus and help you get through the next phase of your journey here. And it's meant to be a positive one. So don't let it be anything more than that. You don't have to be stuck in this constant chaos and conflict. This is a moment, I feel like, for you to restore order, Sagittarius, and recognize the opportunity for maybe even negotiation or just healthy communication. But even in the seeming chaos, there is a divine order, a restoring of elements, essentially, and it is powerful. If your intention is to find the best solution, well, it's going to come. And again, like if you're on the right path of right, the good path of good, it's going to happen. But in terms of love, this is going to be a sticky situation. I feel like you're going to discover everything you need to know about the situation and how it's going to affect you long term here. But be present in the eye of the chaos, Sagittarius. This is valuable for you. Don't waste it. This is a moment to truly get to the nitty-gritty of whatever love, confusion, whatever around you that's internally causing some chaos and conflict around love. It's time to drop the 10 of Wands, the burdens like a hot potato. Sometimes we have to understand that the wounds that we've been carrying around for so long are just weighing us more and more and more. And ignoring them or putting them down is hurting us more in the end of the day. The 10 of Wands is depicting someone that head down, sort of face buried, lacking clarity, having, discerning themselves from others. You're not clear on your direction or your limits here. Developing that ability to discern might involve maybe just asking a question, but how do you know when you've had too much of something? And how do you know when you've not had enough of something? Or, how do you know when to walk away? How do you know when what is right for you? Well, not for you might be that indicator as well. This is a sense of understanding that not everything is right for you, and even if it was up previously, it may not be now. And that's okay, Sagittarius, because you know, the divine kind of brings in everything as it is for you and what is not. So don't chase after what flees from you, okay? And don't obsess over what eludes you. And don't bang your head against a goddamn brick wall that you know is just that. There's nothing romantic about what is unavailable, and no prize given for torturing yourself. So nothing to be gained by refusing to see the red flags, like I said, that have been waving like since the goddamn beginning of this pursuit. Now is the time to walk away. There are other things, other loves, other games, other successes waiting for you. The way out of it assessing is sort of that radical acceptance of where you're at in the moment and surrendering to it, right? This is a sign that something is much better is waiting for you. It's judgment, awakening. They're trumpeting. The horn is kind of squawking at you. It's time for you to acknowledge the things that you've not been willing to do so. And why haven't you? Is it because you secretly don't know if this is what's meant for you, or you don't believe you can have the greatness? I feel like this is an adventure, an invitation for you to change, to leave behind an old way for a new one, to remember who you are and forget who you are not. This is a metaphor of resurrection, and it pulls your attention towards something in you that can endure even when you are subjected to destructive forces of the world, right? The limitations of being alive in this human body with like finite levels of attention mean that we do not have that we have to forget certain things in order to live, right? To move forward, we also have to remember the deep care for one another that makes us human, and a sense of belonging to something that's greater than ourselves. This is a very karmic, fated moment for you. And I think it's a great one, because this is going to shift and change, and all of a sudden perspectives in all way are going to happen. And I feel like this is a symbol of change, but it's also a symbol of evolution. Though we tend to think of evolution as a continuously upward trajectory, the Wheel of Fortune reminds us that there's always a down to every up, my friends. Now, Sagittarius, let's take a look at what the message from Spirit is for you for this week. Believe it, you're going to get it. You are just have to focus. You know, your fiery temper is definitely, ignited this week. And it is definitely going to push through the last thread of patience that I feel like you have in terms of whatever situation this is. But it's going to be one that's going to be quite crystal clear for you. Okay. We have 25 Kamala Devi coming out here. And we have 1 Smashana. I'm not sure how to read that. To pronounce that, sorry. So we're going to take a look. We'll start with 1 here. She shines her blessing of divine destruction, clearing away which undermines your confidence and inhibits your activity on your life path. With the courage born of unconditional trust, you can accept her fierce intervention in your life with openness to the positive changes that shall emerge as a result. Wow. Now we have 25. We witness her beauty, and all struggle melts into grace. Upon a grateful sigh, the heart softens into her protection and radiates peace. Her presence transforms frustration into inspiration, fatigue into replenishment, and overactivity into effortless attraction. She is the golden pathway of divine manifestation and peaceful contentment. She empowers your heart to receive with the same generosity, openness, and grace that you express when you give freely and joyfully. Abundant divine blessings are upon you. And lastly, you got 16. Her magnificence steadies the anxious mind and reassures the heart of the empowering grace that arises through trust in her. Attempting to fathom her wisdom behind the workings of the Divine Mother would be like trying to cram the entire ocean into a teacup. Such wisdom is vast and our perspective is limited, yet we don't need to understand divine will to benefit from it. Better to allow her creativity, resourcefulness, and unlimited vision to take effect in our lives, bringing us every grace necessary for our blessed fulfillment. And so it is, Sagittarius. Until next time. Namaste.